for sure.
That's true.
And, then the bad thing happened, which was people started to like it. And which makes you, which encourages
isn't that what
you.
you want?
But I say that tongue in cheek.
Don't you want people to say, "Hey, I'm singing Kenn Morr's song in the shower today"?
Yes. I say it tongue in cheek because that encourages you, and then you keep going, and then before you know it, like they say in The Godfather, you're in.
That's right.
And so it really is one of those things that you just do. I would be doing whether I got money for it or not, or whether you had me in here or not. I would still be writing and doing this, because
I'm glad to hear that,
it's a form of expression.
Sometimes I think, and even for me, that some people know who I am. I go to a Beatle fest, and some people know who I am.
I would think they did after all these years of doing Beatles shows. Yes, I would think that.
And then plus, I'm doing a podcast now, a talk show on the Beatles with 2 other friends.
Yeah,
and it's picked up. And it's sometimes nice to, say, "Hey, are you Rob Leonard?" I go, "Yeah, I'm Rob Leonard."
Yeah,
I love what you guys have been doing.
Right,
and nice
that's the thing.
And then, of course, you see some idiot on the internet. Oh, Rob Leonard's the biggest jerk in the world.
Well, I only wrote that once.
I know, but I said
that was not me.
I said, why did Jackie write that?
Yeah. But that's what it's all about. Or if somebody says to you or me in this situation, "Wow, that song really got me through." Whatever, blank.
Right.
Or your album helped get me through blank. That's worth a heck of a lot more than the money that I make doing this, is when somebody tells you your record or your song got me through a certain situation.
You're the soundtrack to their life.
Or for that period of time. Right. Yeah. And so to me, that's another big part of it. So it pays, the business pays in a lot more ways than financial.
Okay, we're going to play Lighthouse, but I want to ask you a question here. Your voice has gotten deeper over the years, almost in the Tom Waits territory on some songs. But here today, you're singing a little bit higher. How do you know where to bring the Tom Waits voice in and when to sing like you've been singing today? Because you sort of have 2 voices.
Well, here's how it goes.
Unless you're just playing everything in E flat or something.
No, B flat is one of my main keys. But what happens is that I write in whatever key I write in, but that doesn't necessarily make it the correct key.
Okay.
When you start writing, all of a sudden you find yourself in a key. So my gauge is that at this point in my life, if I'm in the recording studio and straining or having difficulties getting a vocal line or a vocal part, I move it down. I'll just move it down a step or something like that, because nobody working with Bob Johnston. You mentioned Bob Johnston at the break. Working with him
off the air, we should say.
Yeah, off the air. That's what I mean.
Say who Bob Johnston is. I know you don't like to drop names, but the guy's a pretty big producer.
He produced a bunch of Dylan albums and Simon and Garfunkel albums.
Right.
And my favorite album of all time is Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme.
Right, and he was a Columbia House producer in the 60s and 70s. Produced, Bob Dylan's name and Bob's. If you do a search on them, you'll find a couple of great records.
Yeah. Anyway, he's the one that told me. He says He says when you go, sometimes if you're going too high, you don't ever want to slip into. And he used the word unpleasant. You don't want it to sound unpleasant. So know when to choose your key, and So ever since I work with him, it's crystallized so many things for me. But that was one of them.
Oh, okay. Let's talk about. Let's see. You know what? We're going to play a song here. We'll talk about it afterwards. We're going to play the song Lighthouse, which is track 5 off of Kenn Morr's new album called Worth Imagining. Ken is in the studio with us, and we'll talk more about this song and others as soon as we finish playing the song. A fade-out cold, as it's known in the business. And you're listening to The Free For All. My name is Rob Leonard, and joining me today is my very good friend, and I truly mean that because I've known him for 28 years, and he started out the radio station here with me 28 years ago. I started 6 months before him. Of course, we're talking about Kenn Morr, who has a new album out. His 8th album, by the way.
That's right.
2 are out of print. So if you're looking for those, they're out of print. Maybe one day Ken will put them out on CD. Maybe?
Possibly.
Will you let me mix the album finally?
Yes.
For those who don't know, I helped Ken, and I use this in quotes, produce his first album.
Lost Tales. And the agreement was that I was supposed to mix it. And then I went down to visit my relatives in Maryland. I come back. Oh, Rob, guess what? We mixed the record last week. I go, hey, you said I was going to do that. And just... The world doesn't wait for you, man.
I know. And I still, I know. I was worth imagining, that I produced that.
Well, maybe you'll produce the next one.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm a good producer because I'd yell at you.
I don't need that. At this point in time in my life, I don't need that.
There is a story which I will not tell on the air.
I know. I'm thinking about the same thing. We'll talk about it off the air.
I want to get your kids on for a second. Kids, come over here. I want to get your opinion of Dad being a musician, and do you think he ever writes about you guys with and if you ever noticed that? Do you like read his lyrics and stuff? How do you feel about your dad being a musician?
I think it's awesome.
Get close to the mic. This is radio.
I think
kid.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. I love it.
Really?
Yeah.
And you've seen your dad play a lot? I mean, not just in the living room, but have you seen him at the shows or anything?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I love all the different venues that he plays in.
Venues, that's a big word. How old are you?
12.
12. I never used the word venue until I was 19.
This is Nolan. He's 12.
Then
and
Nolan,
James right here is just turned 9.
Wow. So, and you guys play any musical instruments?
Yeah, I play the drums.
Drums?
And I play the violin.
The violin, you'll be playing guitar in about 2 years. So, Dad needs a violinist, though.
I got one.
Tom. Oh, Tom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But we'll have James play second violin.
So Tom is like his hero, really. And you're just
Tom's everybody's hero.
Oh, really?
If you come see the band, you'll see why Tom is pretty much everybody's hero.
Is he the multi-instrument guy of the group?
Yeah, and it's unbelievable to watch.
Really? That's cool. Okay, I want you kids to go write a song in the next 20 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Nice to meet you guys.
So, well, at least they can start playing with you in a couple.
Well, I do take them to gigs. I mean, they're not going to the show next week in New York City on the 5th at Alphabet.
So they're not going to roll any drunks or anything?
No, but they normally, I mean, they were at the bitter end the last 2 times I played the bitter end.
They're like conscious security?
They've been to Kenny's Castaways. Yes, they're like securities.
They're out in the front with the dark sunglasses.
Yes. They know who to allow in and who to keep out.
They're tough-looking guys, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't screw them.
Yeah.
Like, whoa. They'll be writing soon.
They probably will be. Yeah, I hope they do.
You're like Ricky Nelson, and they're like Gunnar and the other Nelson. Except just don't die in a plane crash.
No, I'll try not to.
I'll
do my best.
They're laughing, but that's what happened. Ricky Nelson was in a plane crash.
Yeah, I'll do my best.
So let's talk about the song. Well, first we heard the song "Lighthouse." We talked about that. The phrase we talked about if I had a nickel for every time, I'd only have a dime. Where did the song come from when you were writing it?
I guess a lot of different places. It goes back to the Worth Imagining theme, which you astutely pointed out. It has its sea references, and there are times where you just it's just a commentary. Each lyric has, I'm sure, a different meaning. It would take too long to explain. Plus, I don't want to. But the chorus gives you that release of just kind of. Take it all away. Say, just let it all go. Get it off your mind. Free up yourself. Take the stress away. And so I try to build some tension during the lyrics, during the verses, and then, of course, my answer always is, as the record cover shows, kind of look onward.
Okay. And what about the next one we played was My Friend, coming out of the promos. You did actually, I think, your first video from it? That's about a dog?
It was inspired by Lightfoot.
Lightfoot, who is your dog?
Lightfoot, the golden retriever, who was almost 15 years old when he passed away. And
named after Gordon Lightfoot.
Named after my hero. That was the other song I was going to choose today. I was going to do a Gordon Lightfoot song. So just to give you an idea, Gordon Lightfoot's always... In fact, in this very room, actually this room right here, the next one. This is where the record library used to be, this room.
Right, we've moved it into here now.
When the studio was in there, when the on-air studio was in there, I did a show called Music of a Generation, and this guy would call up week after week after week saying, play me Gordon Lightfoot, play me Gordon Lightfoot. And I knew Gordon Lightfoot from Sundown and Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. This guy, whoever it was, Joe from Massapequa or wherever he's from, whoever it was, changed my life in a lot of ways because Gordon Lightfoot became a major influence on me as a songwriter.
Really?
Oh, major influence, yeah.
So, but you've never written anything close to the Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald?
No.
And actually, that's sort of, if you think about him, you would think about that song.
Right.
Because it was a very long song, and, it's a story song. But he had so many other songs.
Oh, so many great songs.
That just got forgotten.
Yeah.
Even Sundown doesn't get played anymore.
But If You Could Read My Mind might be one of the masterpieces of that time.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice song for the period.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So My Friend is based on your dog.
So Lightfoot passed away in the spring. I lost Ben, who I was referring to before, my buddy, my mom, and Lightfoot all within like a 3-month period of time. It was really intense because really you don't like to put a dog up with people, but you know what? They belong there.
Well, when we had to, and I hate to say the word put her to sleep because it's not what we did. We basically
put her for a long sleep.
We ended her pain.
Right.
Really, my dog couldn't walk anymore.
Right.
It got to the point where, she would just lay there.
Yeah.
And that's not good. And she was 17 at the time, so that was a long time.
And so you understand.
Yeah,
you understand.
15 for a golden retriever
is almost unheard of.
Yeah.
And being who he is and who he was, Lightfoot decided to go out. He had dignity right up until the end, and the day he didn't have his dignity, and it had nothing to do with going to the bathroom in the house or anything like that. He hardly even did that. It was just it was a tumor that began to bleed out of his mouth, and it was like, okay.
Oh wow.
I knew it. It was at that moment when we took him to the vet, we just knew that the vet was going to say, hey, there's something going on here, and the boys we had prepared our sons for it because it's he was a member of the family. I mean, a member of the family.
All dogs are.
And I could not function mentally for almost 6 months when it came to dealing with him and the loss of him, because I'm at home. When I'm not playing music or writing music, I'm raising these guys. And Lightfoot, I was with them all day, 24 hours a day. It seemed like. And it was really painful for me to lose him. He represented so much to me. And just this one night, that winter, this song, like never before, came flying out of me. And I remember writing it and then recording a demo of it. And after I finished recording the demo of the song, I felt this incredible, like never before, this incredible relief and release that writing, although it's given to me many, many times, never on that level. I felt like I had finally dealt with it, and now when I sing the song, and we sing it all the time, it's with a happy. It's a tribute. It's a happy song.
On the
to me.
video, which is your first video, and it's on your website, KennMorr.com. It's all people sending in pictures of the dogs, friends you knew and stuff. Friends
and fans from really all around the place. We sent out an email to all the people on our mailing list and said, if anybody, we lost Lightfoot, and if anybody's got to send living or dead, this is not about a dead dog. This is about dogs, period. Mine just happened to pass, and that's what inspired the song. But what's funny is when we played the bitter end to do the CD release, a friend walked in who I hadn't seen in a long time. She said, I saw your video, and when the video started and I saw all the different dogs, I said, my goodness, I didn't know Ken had so many dogs up there where he lives. Then I had to explain to her that, no, those were from all around the country type thing.
Yeah, it was interesting because it's your first video, and it's dogs, and people have their attachments to their dogs.
Nothing else.
I still miss him. It's been 21 years since we put her to sleep.
What was the name of your dog?
Curly.
I don't know if I met Curly.
You had to if you met my grandfather.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Hold it. No, I was still in the house, so you met Grandpa. So.
Okay, I don't remember Curly.
Well, she would bite at people.
Oh, okay.
So we probably held her back or something.
Yeah, that's nice of you.
Well, what are we gonna do? But she was a dog who, the last moment of her life, she was known for biting people, tried to bite the vet. So, the vet's trying to get the needle in to inject her to basically kill her.
Right.
And Curly looks up and and then she put her head down and said, "Okay, basically do it." And I was wiped out for a week after that.
You get it. Yeah, I mean, you get it. But they do us favors at that age. It's easier to deal with than, I had a friend who had a 2-year-old golden retriever puppy, and she's watching it running out and playing in the yard, and suddenly the dog has a heart attack before her eyes, and boom, gone. 2 years old. I mean, that's...
I would never even think a dog would have a heart attack.
Yeah.
It's not something you think about them getting.
Right in front of her eyes. And to me, that's the having a dog for 15 years... that is a gift of all gifts. You had 17 years. I mean, that's you're talking about a real gift there.
Yeah, I hope so. Let's play a song with Sunday morning as we do this show today, being the